We have something in Arizona called the Central Arizona Project. The Central Arizona Project is basically the entity that takes the Colorado river water and then uses it to supply the populations of our most populated counties. The effect of the CAP on the state's economy, it touches about 40% of our gross state product. We're approximately, in Arizona, $250 billion economy. In some years, up to 40% of our gross state product is in some way affected by the Central Arizona Project. So in terms of, the effect of water for a state like Arizona is something that all businesses and residents understand. And across the board, we've been much more careful stewards of water. Arizona has been one of the fastest growing states in the country for decades, but we've become far more efficient with our use of our precious water resources. I think it's a necessity for any state that's drawing water from the Colorado River, and I'm sure it goes well beyond that in other regions of the country. We absolutely have to be more judicious in our use, and the good news is that we have been. We've had very good people in the state working on different conservation measures. Our Salt River project has been a leading force for good in terms of making sure that we're more efficiently using water, but it's become a way of life in Arizona. One of the things we've done at the Chamber is that we've become partners with the sustainability group that has made it its mission for companies to be more efficient in its use of all the different building blocks necessary to run an operation, whether it's energy or water. So we have there's different programs in all of our major cities that encourage a more judicious use of water. The business community has been strong supporters of those efforts. It's an overall sense within the state of Arizona that we need to make sure that we're using water as efficiently as possible, and that same sort of culture is also there with energy usage as well. There are businesses in the state that have developed and have been working on technologies to more efficiently use water. Some are at the conference here today, but it's really been on the governmental side and on the major business side, such as SRP, our Central Arizona project, our major cities that have put in place policies and plans so that the state is using water as efficiently as possible. Policymakers and government have been joined at the hip in terms of efforts to use water efficiently and effectively. This has been the case for quite some time, and in Arizona, it's a necessity as a Colorado River state with some of the challenges that are out there and are in the news every single day. We absolutely have to. I'd say what's a little bit different today than, say, a few years ago is that there is a sense that there's even greater urgency to do more in the conservation and efficiency areas. And this will be one where the business community will need to work with our officials in government to make sure that we have the plans in place so that we could conserve water and make sure that there's adequate supplies for industry and for a state that will continue to be one of the fastest growing states in the country, so long as we can meet our challenges with water. One of the great things about this conference is that it's bringing together business leaders and leaders in government and in the water industry from across the 7 states. There is no good that could come from conflict, from protracted litigation. Court cases are not fast and they're not cheap. We're much better off if we work together as a region to make sure that we have the water policies in place, particularly during a time where we've seen a severe drought. I think we're in year 14. So a great thing about this type of conference is that you're bringing together people from all across the region, and you really do get a sense that there's goodwill and there's a very strong desire to work together. And another sort of interesting point that's come out of this conference is that it's not just the 7 states. There's also been discussion of some of the positive activities that have been going on with our friend and neighbor to the south in Mexico to make sure that we're all working collaboratively. The entire region's economy is dependent on getting these water issues right. That if we don't have the right policies in place, if we're not working together, it could be very disruptive to the entire region's economy. And there's a sense that water isn't getting any cheaper, energy isn't getting any cheaper. So we're going to have to I'm not a math major, but you just look at that equation and you're going to need to be much more efficient with the use of resources, and particularly water.